Hello and welcome to the third lecture of percentage. And in this lecture, we are going to solve questions from 16 because in the previous video, I have solved the question up to number 15. In this lecture, I'm going to solve from 16. Right. So look at this question. A fraction 4/5 is changed to 5/6. How much percentage change is done? It is saying that a number which is 4/5, right? This is a number, but this is changed to 5/6, correct? This is changed to 5/6. Then how much change will be there? So in this type of question, what you need to do it, you need to write it 4 5, and then you can write 5 and 6. So we have learned in the previous video that any number which is written in the form of fraction, then we can convert it in the form of real number. This is also real number, but we can change in normal number. For example, we will do in this question, we will do cross multiplication. So yeah, or you can do this LCM of these two number, and that will give 30, and you will multiply 30 30 here, and then when you divide it, then it will give you how much? 5, and it will give you how much? It will give you here, it will give you 6 6 here, it will give you 5, right? So now what is the number? 24 here and 25. This number increased by how much? By 1. It increased by 1 upon what? Upon this number, right? This number will be written in the base 24, and this number was 24, now it became 25. It increased by what percent? Now we will multiply with 100, and now you can write it like 1250, then 6 and 25, and when 25 upon 6, if you change it in the form of percentage, then it will give you how much? 4 times it 24, and then 1 is there, and then 1 7, right? So the answer should be C. You got it? Now look at the next question. Question 17, it says a number is increased by 20%, gives 240. Find the number. A number, let any number, right? Let any number, yeah, that is x. It is increased by 20%. In the previous video, we learned that we don't need to go through the whole process. If any number increases by 20%, that means it becomes 120. uh, you know we can multiply that number 120 upon 100, and it is saying that that number becomes 240. You understand? 240. So what is the value of x? Now we will do little bit calculation here. Look at here, 120 and 240, it will be divided in how many times? 2. And then x will be 2 into 100. So 200. Very simple. The answer should be option A for this question. Now the look at the question 18. How much is 50% of 60 more than 30 of 40? So very simple. You can instead of writing this much, 50%, and then you will write that it is percentage. So I can write like this, then I will have to write 100 in the bottom, then 30%, then it will give like this. You can directly cancel that number, right? You can directly cancel this percentage, because 20 is there. This percentage will be cancelled with this, because in the examination we don't have too much time. 2 10 and 10 here, this percentage will be gone. This percentage will be gone with this zero. How much it will give? 30 here, 30, and then in the first it is 30, in the second it is 12. It is asking that how much is more than this, the number which it will give. So this is 12, and this is 30, and this is 12. So how much differences are there? 18. If it would have asked about the percentage, we could also convert it in the form of percentage, that we could write 18, I mean 18, and then in the bottom 12 and in 100. But it is not asking that, right? It is not asking about the percentage. It is just asking about that number, how much is less. That is, answer should be D, 18, right? The next question 90. 19. 20% of that number is 180. More than 20% of 530. Find the number. 20% of any number, it is saying sorry, 20% of any number, right, is 180, and more than that is more than 20% of 530. You understand? Here you can directly take the 20% of 530, how much it will give. The If you multiply 53 with 2, it will give you 106, right? So yeah, so let that number is x, and 20% of that number, 20% of that number, and is more than one, is more than 20% of that number is 180, and that is more than 20% of this number. So if I divide this number from this particular number, so how much it should give me? If I subtract this number 106, not 180, 106, if I subtract that number, then it should give me 180, right? Because this is what this question is saying, right? So how much it will be? Solve this. So 20x 100, and then if this number goes this side, it will make 100 plus 100, 200, and 286, correct? Then 20x, sorry, yeah, 20x 286 divided by 100, and x value of x will be how much? This 20 will go here. Now, so how much will be the answer if you divide this 2 with this 143, then 1430? This will be the value of x, and then we got this in option number D. What is the number which needs to be added? What is the number which needs to be added to 20% of 460 to have the sum as 70% of 920? Right? What is the number which needs to be added to the 20% of 460 to have the sum as 70% of this number? So let's solve this exam. So if you do that, if you cancel this percent with this directly, then the number becomes 892, right? Number becomes 92, and then if you add x, and then that is the 20%, to the result should be multiply of 92 and 7, right? This I did very quickly, but let me make you understand in proper way. So the question is saying that what is the number which needs to be added to 20% of, so 460 20%, right? What this number will be added, and then the result should be the 70% of 920, right? So if you do it in proper way, so the 460, and in the fraction value it is 1 upon 5 plus x, right? And then the 70, 100, 920, right? If you cancel this 0 with this 0, and then if you solve it, 9 and then 2, right? 9 2 plus x, 9 2 it is, plus 92 multiplied by 7. So if you see 92 here, and if you try to find out the value of x, then how much it will be? 192 will be subtracted from this 92, into multiply by 6 it will become, right? So how much it will be? 12 and then 5. This will be the answer. All right, up to question number 20 today I have done it. The next question we will do it in another video.